Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for being here today. We are excited to show our project to you all. But before that, just to get us all in same headspace, let's think about this situation. Something broke at your house and you needed a quick professional fix. What's that first thing that comes to your mind? Do you use a Google search or will you just call your friends and ask if they know any reliable service providers? Or will you just look at the magnets on the fridge and they turned out to be expensive? I do it most of the times. Let's be honest, we all face the difficulty of not being able to book reliable service provider. You don't know whether they come on time, do a really good job, or whether it's really worth the money or not, right? That is why exactly we've created TaskNet to make finding and booking trusted help simple, secure, and super convenient. You may be wondering how did we come up with this idea? Before that, just think about one other thing. What if booking these service providers is as easy as booking a cab? Just few taps and done. Very quick, right? So, how did we come up with this idea? When I was in India, I had this convenience of booking beauty services right at my doorstep whenever I needed. It made my life a lot easier. It was super convenient. But when I moved to Australia, I was surprised to see how difficult it is to find the service provider. The options were overwhelming and the prices were all over the place, and I couldn't decide anything on time. I was discussing same thing with my teammate Hugh, who is here next to me. He also mentioned that similar struggles he faced while booking tradespeople for his home maintenance. That's when we thought, why not creating something that makes this process easier? We wanted to build a platform that connects users with local service providers, quick, fast, and reliable. I'll now hand it over to Hugh to discuss more about TaskMate and introduce himself and the rest of our team.
Hi everyone, I'm Hugh. I was a digital paid media and marketing specialist for 7 years. I'm passionate about front end and I want to become a full stack developer. Abdu and August couldn't be with us today, so I'm just going to introduce them. So Abdurrahman is an architect and 3D, 4D visualization specialist, and he wants to use his software engineering skills to complement his architectural practices in BIM software. And August is a business owner and wants to learn web dev for his business. Now let's go into the key app features for TaskMate from the user side. So TaskMate is an easy-to-book service with prices displayed up front. This is especially helpful for those who might not be familiar with industry standards. Users can also find service providers close to them, offering flexibility and convenience. And let's be honest, sometimes we don't even know what we're trying to book, so we're not really sure exactly what service we need. TaskMate offers multiple ways to browse and search, making it easy to find exactly what you're looking for. And then key app features from the service provider standpoint. It isn't just for users, so it's also a powerful tool for service providers, helping them win new business, advertise to their local area, highlight popular services as a way to build relationships with users, and clear scheduling. Before we go into the live demo, I just want to take you through a user journey just to make the live demo a bit smoother for everyone. So if you read along with me from top to bottom, top being the entry point and the two squares below being the two options for the user. So you land on the home page, the user could do a predictive search query for service or browse by category of service if they're not sure what they're looking for. They can keep browsing nearby service providers on a map or do services by category. And then for booking, they can book the service now. If they're not a user already, they will be prompted to log in or register. Payment is handled by Stripe. And then for the confirmation, once payment goes through, you reach a success page and Stripe would confirm your booking. The user can then return home to keep looking or go to their profile to check booking details, status, date, etc.
Thanks for highlighting the key app features of TaskMate. Now let's see that in action. Are you all excited? I am. Before that, let's say I'm a user wanting to fix the leaky pipe at my house. And I've used a couple of other platforms too, but I wanted to see how TaskMate's gonna help me now. Alright, we are on to the home page. Let's see what they got. Here they've got good number of categories. You can see more categories. This platform also has some feature services listed down there, but I'm not really sure which category it falls under. But how do I do that? Maybe I'll just go back to the home page and do a global search and just type in leak. We have two options. Leak detection sounds pretty relevant to what I want, so I'm just selecting this and clicking on search. We are now on to service providers page. We have list of all the providers near me. For that, you need to have your location button on. And it's not just only freelancers. TaskMate also has verified businesses registered to them. You can see the tag and say they are freelancers, but see, these are all businesses that are also registered. You can click on mapping here, or you can also find clicking on the map. And here is a quick tip. If you don't find any service providers you like, or if you don't like any of the businesses that are listed down here, TaskMate actually helps you to find nearby service providers location even though they're not on the platform, just in case if you're in rush or wanted to find any specific needs. For now, I wanted to book a service with freelancer, so let's just compare their pricings and the reviews. John is providing services for $40, which is under my budget. I'll check the reviews. Looks pretty good. Okay, I want to book a service with John Fisher. All right, it's now asking me to log in. I am already a current user, so I can just log in with my email address and password. But if you are a new user, let me just tell you how it works. You go to the register page. If you're just a simple user as an individual, you can give the username, email ID and password and just click on register. So quick. But if you want to provide a service as a freelancer, you can select this Are You a Service Provider button, and you can select the category, select what is the service you want to provide, and you can give some price. You can add service. And as a quick tip, you can actually add multiple services. Who knows, you might be a multitasker. So what if you own a business and you wanted to register with TaskMate? You select this button and you give your business name. What do we give? This beauty house. Okay. Melbourne. And once you click on search for businesses, it will give you all the list of available locations that are registered to your business name. So you can select any one of it and register. But now I'm just going back to login and login with my email ID and password. It will again take you to the service provider page. You select the same freelancer, John Fisher. And now you can see you're onto the booking summary page where you just have to confirm all your details and select date and time, confirm and pay. It will now take you to the payment page. I already have some test card details saved on, but if you want to add new payment, you can just click here, add card information and select the location and pay. But for now, I'm just selecting the save card details, just clicking on pay. Now let's see what happens. That's it. Booking is confirmed. So quick. You find services, you select service provider and you give date and time. That's it. The booking is confirmed. What if I want to keep track of all the bookings? So you go to the user page. You can find all your user information. I am a big fan of David Warner. Okay. So you go to My Bookings tab. You can see all your upcoming bookings, bookings that are completed, and also cancel bookings. Okay, I forgot to leave a review for my previous booking. How do I do that? Let's click on that, give a rating, amazing platform, speaking truths, submit review. That's it. So once you submit the review, the status will be moved to reviewed. And then there is a tab, make a task request. If you are someone like me who don't know how to put that in words, what I want and how you explain the problem you want to fix, you can actually write it down here and submit a form. You can upload any pictures, you can actually write the description, and when do you need it, you can submit the request. Once you submit the request, our service providers will reach back to you and help you complete the task. I think I've covered almost of it. Well, this is it. I'll just have to sit back and wait for the service provider to come. Now you have seen how it works, but I know you must be all excited to see what's under the hood. So I'll now leave it to the mastermind behind all the tech stack. Thank you. Thank you.
So I'm going to take you through technology and architecture. TaskMate is powered by the MERN stack, so that's MongoDB, Express, React, and Node.js. At the front end, /client browser, React, there's tons of documentation and a massive ecosystem of libraries, so that was a no-brainer for us. We also use Tailwind CSS for responsive design, and Flowbyte and Daisy UI for pre-built components and a consistent look across the app. To develop the front end efficiently, we chose Vite as our development tool. Vite is optimized for speed and offers features like hot module replacement, which allows us to instantly see changes as we code. This setup makes development faster and more streamlined, which allowed me to iterate quickly on the front end and experiment. On the back end, you have Node.js, which provides the runtime environment. Express.js builds on Node.js. So Express we use for APIs, routing, and middleware. And then in the middle there, you have Mongoose. I'm going to elaborate on that, but let's go to the database. So we chose MongoDB as our database due to its flexibility in handling various data structures, such as the user profile, service details, and bookings. MongoDB's document-oriented nature allowed us to adapt our data structure as we developed the app, which was particularly useful in the early stages. And then Mongoose is similar to SQL as a relational component of MongoDB. We built it all with vanilla JavaScript, as we really wanted to continue to learn JavaScript over TypeScript, as we don't plan to keep building with this. And we used ESLint or linter to ensure some sort of coding standard as we work together, and Postman app extension to test API endpoints. Now hand it over to Susmitha.
Thanks for the wonderful breakdown, Hugh. All right, let's dive into one of the biggest tech challenges we faced while building this app. As you can imagine, building a platform like this means working with a lot of data, and that's where it got tricky. So we wanted to show real-time information of service provider that we're getting from Google API, but also allow freelancers to sign up and provide their services. What's the challenge here? The challenge is combining real-time information that we are getting from Google API and also in-house databases into one single format that works seamlessly has been one of the biggest challenge. It's not just about merging the data though, we also wanted to make sure the user interactions is very good for users. So for that, we need to get the Google API interface onto UI. To get that, we need to use a combination of nearby API and geolocation API because users needs to find the nearby locations of service providers. So of course, we've used Google API overall, but we also had to use multiple internal APIs to get things right. And on top of that, we had this issue with verifying businesses. We wanted to make sure service providers signing up were legitimate. So we had to use Places API to confirm their details before they were added to the platform. Overall, it was a big challenge. It took us a lot of time, but in the end, it really paid off. So that's something we're really happy with. I'll now hand it over to Hugh to discuss our hard work behind all of this, the process, collaboration, and our Moscow sessions.
Thanks, Susmitha. So just to give you a better idea of how TaskMate came about and the challenges we tackled, let's go further into how we did it all. So 10 to 8 weeks out, Susmitha pitched her amazing idea. We did a lot of research and investigation on competitors and potential tech stacks just to sort of guide it. We didn't necessarily want to just do another clone, as we'd done a clone to learn for the course, so we did a clone on Airbnb. And then 6 weeks out, we did Moscow methods. So that stands for must have, should have, could have, or won't have. And amazing UX and UI designer August came up with some Photoshop wireframes pretty quickly, which really helped speed things up. And then 2 weeks out, we hit some pretty significant development roadblocks, which I'm going to elaborate on. And we did QA testing towards the end. So as you remember, I was talking about 6 weeks out, we did the Moscow. So again, that's must have, should have, could have, won't have. When we hit those road developments, we did have to just focus on a must have. So we're really lucky Adrian taught us this method. And we're really lucky, especially that Susmitha came up with a really amazing solution to forget about the won't have and just focus on the must have. And that solution was the Google API. So she did a really amazing job there. We didn't get a chance to get to notifications, but yeah, ultimately it came back to we wanted the users to be able to easily scroll through options, compare prices for different services, and get a better understanding of the costs involved. We wanted users to appreciate the value of these skilled professionals, service providers, and feel empowered to build relationships with them. So I'm going to hand it back to Susmitha to wrap it up for some learning and to conclude for us.
Thanks, Hugh. All right, apart from the biggest tech challenge we discussed earlier, we also faced a lot of challenges throughout this journey. When we started building TaskMate, we knew it was going to be challenging, but we didn't just realize how much we'd be pushed to grow. Looking back, it was an incredible journey since we started with no technical background. And also learning all these new skills while building an application was intense. So through these challenges, one of them is lack of structured data. That means we had to use our own test data prior to, integrating with the Google API. And then we struggled with designing proper user journey initially. So that took us a lot of trial and error methods. And then on top of all of that, working with a team across different time zones, that really tested our communication and adaptability. So through these challenges, we learned a lot about actually teamwork, flexibility, and the importance of clear communication. I discovered resilience and adaptability are key when you're working with a diverse team on a complex project. So here we are today with TaskMate, an app that represents teamwork, flexibility, and personal growth. So I wanted to take a moment to thank everyone at Holberton for their guidance and support and for helping us to develop all these skills that made TaskMate into a reality. And I also wanted to thank my manager at work, Masanji, for supporting me a lot, giving me all the flexibility I wanted and boosting up my confidence all day, every day. Above all, I want to thank my husband who's been rocked through all of the journeys. I truly couldn't have made this far without his support because he's been supporting a lot in my personal life, even technically for this project because he's a full stack developer again. And finally, thank you all for being here and spending your time to listen us. We love to know your feedback, any thoughts if you have. Please feel free to reach out if you have any questions. Thank you so much.